Hey, this is Andrew, Trails Coordinator for the Adirondack Mountain Club. And today we are building better trails. Extreme weather events are on the rise in New York, from Hurricane Irene in 2011 to the Halloween storm in 2019. These storms are largely a product of climate change. You may ask, why is this guy talking about climate change? Doesn't he build trails? The fact is that climate change creates some steep challenges for hiking in New York. If we want to overcome them, we need to build trails with climate resiliency in mind. Let's lay the groundwork. If you watched the first video in our series, then you know all about how the trails in the Adirondacks follow straight, often steep lines from point A to point B. You've also heard about how soil in the Adirondack Park is thin in many areas, making it extra prone to erosion. Combine these factors and you have trails that are just waiting to be washed away by heavy rainstorms. Every time storms roll in, rainwater is funneled down these trail corridors, carrying soil, destabilizing tree root systems, and creating other impacts. While a major part of this can be attributed to the design of our trails, our current climate situation is exacerbating the issue. And at the current rate, we risk losing significant access to the backcountry unless we change our approach. One of the most obvious impacts that we are seeing right now is at stream crossings. Consistently heavy rainstorms are swelling streams, rivers, and creating localized flooding and destroying bridges. Some viewers might remember Hurricane Irene, which devastated the Adirondack Park in 2011. That storm destroyed road bridges made with steel, concrete, and asphalt, which is nothing to say about the hundreds of wooden span bridges in the backcountry that were wiped out, of which many still have yet to be replaced. Since Irene, we have experienced numerous smaller yet still major storm events that have continued to chip away at trail infrastructure in the backcountry. This cuts off access to many trails that require a bridge or similar structure to safely navigate water crossings. As we look to the future, we have to expect these storms to continue and even increase in frequency. We are also seeing more intense frost heave cycles. Soils in the Adirondacks are rich in organic material, so they tend to retain water like a sponge. In cold weather, this causes the soils to freeze solid. But as that material thaws and refreezes in the shoulder season, especially in the spring, it expands with enough force to heave roads and boulders. If you've ever noticed those strange ice formations on the ground in the spring, which are called needle ice, then you've seen this process in action. Even if there is little physical obstruction during this heave cycle, the soils will rise like a loaf of bread and then fall away. This constantly disrupts trail surfaces, quickening the rate of erosion. And while a natural process, these two are increasing in frequency and severity. So what can we do about this? Well, for starters, we need to do all we can to mitigate climate change. That's a topic for a different series, but stabilizing our climate is, of course, a key part of solving this issue. In the meantime, from the trail building perspective, we need to reimagine how we build trails in order to better address current and future challenges. For example, it has long been the standard to use simple log bridges in the backcountry. These are more natural and blend in better with the surrounding landscape. However, as I said, this approach doesn't work in a situation where you face an increasing cycle of major storms. To overcome this, bridges will need to be built with wire ropes lashed so that if the bridge is pushed off its abutments by an extreme weather event, it will remain tethered. This will make it easier to salvage the components of the bridge, leading to a faster rebuilding process and fewer resources wasted. For frost heaves, we can turn to crushed stone. Rather than using a compacted dirt surface, we can place a layer of crushed stone on top of the trail, which creates a buffer where water can pass through the area and minimize the forces of heaving. This is a trail feature known as a turnpike. Combine this with trail reroutes that prioritize switchbacks and more even elevation gains, and we also address our first issue, increased erosion from water damage. Trail design plays a huge role in managing stormwater runoff and maintaining access to the backcountry. Of course, none of this comes easily. What I described requires human power and resources to make possible. An increase in funding could revolutionize trail work in the Adirondacks, leading to better trails for generations to come. The time to build better trails is now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos from ADK. Follow the links below and learn more about ADK, our vision for building better trails, and how you can help as a member, donor, and a volunteer.